Hello and welcome to my first impressions of Prison School. Prison School aired in the 2015 summer season and actually became pretty popular with anime fans. I've even heard some people say that this is one of the best shows of the year so far. So with the significant amount of acclaim that this show got, I couldn't help but check it out, even though admittedly I'm not a big fan of comedy anime. Prison School is set at Hachimitsu Academy, where discipline is strict and the underground student council hand out harsh punishments for anybody who breaks the rules. It actually used to be an all-girls school, however recently it allowed 5 male students to enroll. Unfortunately, these 5 male students end up peeping in the girls' locker room, and because of that they get sentenced to 1 month in the school's prison. If the story sounds kinda dumb, it's because it is. This show is really dumb, however that's what a lot of people like about it. They like how this show doesn't take itself too seriously, it's just a bunch of silly fun, and I can respect that. Now, being that Prison School is a comedy anime, your opinion on the show is going to be based almost solely on whether or not you like the comedy. If you laugh at the jokes, chances are you'll love this show. Unfortunately for me, I didn't find this show that funny at all. Being that the show is set in high school, there's a lot of sexual humour which just wasn't hitting with me at all. I mostly found the sexual jokes to be extremely juvenile, especially when the show devolved into the characters just saying crude words like tits and pussy and fuck. I felt that these jokes were real bottom of the barrel stuff. The show also uses slapstick as the male prisoners are constantly getting beaten on by the underground student council. Again, I didn't really find this funny, and the characters get beaten on so much that this quickly became repetitive for me. I will admit this show did occasionally make me laugh. I actually found myself laughing fairly consistently in the 3rd episode. However, if you were to take into account the amount of jokes I liked in the entire 3 episodes that I watched, the amount of laughs were very few and far between. I also didn't really like any of the characters in this show. The male prisoners came off as sex-craved dumbasses, and the underground student council came off as overly violent and very cold-hearted. The only character that I kinda liked was the main character, Kiyoshi. There are a lot of moments where he shows kindness to others, and he's certainly the most reasonable one out of the entire group. However, like all the characters, he has his fair share of stupid moments as well, and there are some times where he came off as extremely cowardly. Because of this, I couldn't really empathise with him as much as I wanted to. The last thing I feel I need to mention is that the show has a ton of fan service. There are a lot of cleavage shots, a lot of panty shots, and the female characters are often shown in very skimpy outfits, or at times with nothing on at all. While fan service is blatant would usually be a huge negative for me, Prison School is very upfront with its fan service and lets you know very early on that there's going to be a ton of it. Because of this, I feel like I can't really criticise the show too much for its fan service. Overall, I didn't really like this show that much. As I said earlier on in the video, I'm not a big fan of comedy anime, so I think that this show just isn't my thing. If you would like to watch Prison School, it's been licensed by Funimation in the US, and it's available for legal streaming over on Anime Lab if you live in Australia or New Zealand. Anyway, thank you very much to everybody who watched this video. If you have any feedback, feel free to leave a comment, and if you like this video and want to see more, feel free to subscribe as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.